Hello everyone. Welcome to online tutorial. My name is Kamna Bakshi, working as assistant professor in School of Management and Commerce, RIMT University, Mandi Govindgarh. Today I am here to give lecture or present a presentation on the topic Introduction to Partnership. So in the today's presentation we are just going to cover subtopics like Introduction to Partnership, meaning of partnership, what is the definition of partnership as per Indian Partnership Act 1932, and what are the basic essentials or requirement or the features or the characteristics of a partnership business, what is the partnership deed, and what are the main contents of partnership deed, and what are the rules applicable in absence of partnership deed, means when we are not preparing any partnership deed, what are the rules governs the partnership firm. Now let's start and be focused and give attention. What is a partnership and a brief introduction to partnership, why partnership came into existence and why partnership is necessary or why partnership we have to do a business like. First of all, I want to say that in the sole trader business, only one person have to manage all the activities of the business. That means he have the limited capital, he have the limited skills, he have the limited risk taking capacity. In short, if I want to say that one hand join another hand together, it gives strength to the another. For example, in the business management or in the journal life, 1 plus 1 is not equal to 2, it's become 11, it gives strength to move ahead. That means for the just limitation of sole trader business, partnership came into existence because to meet today's need of the business and to grow in future, we need more capital, more skills. That's why we enter into a partnership, means we are joining hand with another person. So what is partnership firm? Partnership firm is an association of 2 or more person. That means to build a partnership, to start a partnership, at least 2 person have to join hands together. And to carry a legal business, that means they have to carry a business, they have to do the business activities, but they should be legal in the eyes of law. And whatever the profit or losses they earn, they must be distributed among all the partners. If they are not distributing profits among the partner, that means one feature is missing and partnership not existing here. Now, in short, I just want to say that for a partnership, at least 2 person join hand together, they must have legal business and they have to earn profit from that business must, and that profit must be shared among all the partners. And in short, we can say that the person who are going to join hand together with some another individually known as partner, and collectively that person group is known as partnership firm. So this is the meaning of partnership firm. Now what is definition of partnership? As per accounting section 4 of Indian Partnership Act 1932, partnership is the relationship between 2 or more persons who have agreed to share the profit of the business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. So let's explain this. Is the relationship between 2 or more persons, that means to start a partnership business, to start a partnership, at least 2 persons have to join hands together, as I earlier told to you, and they have to do the business. Definitely they have to share the profit of the business among the partner. That means ki whatever profit earned by the firm, we can't charitable that profit to another person or another group. We have to share that profit among the partner, it is must. And one more thing is mentioned here, that business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. That means whether the partner is active or sleeping, but partner is partner and that belong to a partnership firm. Here though two terminology exist. What is active partner? Active partner means a person who is investing capital as well as investing their time into the business, means he is contributing in each and every activity of the business on routine basis. That means he is active partner. On the other hand, sleeping partner means who is investing the money but not taking the part on each and every activity of the business. So in short, I repeating all that things, partnership relationship between 2 or more person, that 2 person have to join hands together to do a business. definitely they have to earn the profit. Third and main thing, partner by nature whatever, whether it is an active or sleeping partner, but it is must he have to carry the business by all or any of them acting for all. Now come to the essentials of partnership, means for starting a partnership business, what are the main requisite, what are the main requirements, what are the features, what are the characteristics. So let's discuss one by one. First of all, at least 2%. I think it's this is the point which is repeating again and again, but extension is here. For a partnership, that is must okay कि at least 2% join the business, but for the maximum number, that is there is nothing mentioned in partnership deed or partnership act. So in the Company Act 2013, it is clearly mentioned that for the partnership business, the number of person or the number of members should not exceed 100. I repeat, for the partnership business, at least 2% are required. But what about the maximum number? Maximum number is clearly not mentioned under the Indian Partnership Act 1932, but Company Act 2013 explain that 100% are maximum numbers in a partnership business. Now next point is agreement. Now what is agreement? Agreement means all terms and conditions related to the business are pre-decided before starting a partnership business. Now question is that कि what are the rules and regulations, what are the terms and conditions related to partnership business, whether they are in oral form or written form. Again, that is nothing mentioned about it in Partnership Act 1932, but for the future reference it must be in written. Now next point is legal business. An agreement should be for the purpose of carrying on business or profession, or business to be carried on by the partner should be legal. That means whatever the business is running by the partnership firm or by the partner, that must be legal under the eye of law. Now the next point is profit sharing. As I earlier told to you, whatever the profit earning by a firm, that should be distributed among the all partners in whatever the ratio, whether it is a capital ratio, whether it is a equal ratio or any other ratio, that is pre-decided. But the question is here, if any partner deprived from his share of profit, then it is not a partner because he is not getting the profits. But it is not mandatory that partners should also take part of the losses too, that depend upon the agreement. In nutshell, I can say that profit earning is must by a business, and that profit should be distributed among partners is again must, but losses or part of losses delivered to the partner, that is not mandatory, that depend upon the agreement. For example, if it is mentioned that in a firm there are 3 partners A, B, C, and all have to take the part of losses as well as in the profits, so okay, that's okay. But if it is mentioned that only A will bear the losses of the firm, that means कि only A is taking the part of losses, but other partner B and C don't be responsible for the losses. Now next is mutual agency. What is the mutual agency? That means at a one time a partner is like a principal, another time he act like a agent. That means at a one time he himself bound other persons, but on the other time he bounds other by own act. So that is your mutual agency. Now next is business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. That means that is not must ki each and every partner take part of every activity. It depend upon the agreement again, whether he is active partner, definitely he have to take part in the each and every activity of the business. But if he is a sleeping partner, he just responsible to make investment, not for the each and every activity participation. So these all are the essentials or the requirements of a partnership firm. In case one is missing, that means partnership is not in existence. Now the next is, what is partnership deed, or you can say what is partnership written document, or you can say what is article of partnership. So let's discuss here. It is an outcome of an agreement, that means result of agreement. What is agreement? Agreement means terms and condition decided in advance. So it can be oral or written. It is not again clearly mentioned under the law whether it is written or oral, but to avoid all misunderstanding, dispute, it's always a best course, it should be in written form. And one more thing, if you are keeping your deed in written form, that must be duly signed and registered under act, so that you can use it as a reference in future cases, future disputes also. Or in short, it also termed as partnership deed as well as article of partnership. Now what are the contents, what are the points we should mention in partnership deed? As I earlier told to you, the partnership deed means agreement in written. Agreement in written means you have to discuss each and every aspect of the business you are going to start and all the related terms which are belonging to your business directly or indirectly. So some of the points are here which we have to decide in advance from before we are starting a business. First is name and address of the firm. What will be name of the firm and where your firm will be located, that must be mentioned under the first preference. Now name and addresses of all the partner, the person who are going to join your business, that will be termed as partners. Name and addresses of them also mentioned here. Third point is type and nature of business. What kind of business you are going to plan, or what business you are going to do. That means whether your business is manufacturing or it's related to service business. Manufacturing business means you are producing the goods and selling into the market. Whether you are purchasing the raw material, convert into finished goods and then sell into the market, or whether you are buying the semi finished goods, then convert into final good and then sell into the market. Or maybe you have the trading business. Trading business means you are just buying the good from one person and selling to the another person. You are playing a role like a middleman. That all are the type of manufacturing. Now what about the service business? Service business means you are rendering the services like lawyer, doctor and other services like business, banking services, insurance services. So in short, I just want to tell here that what kind of business you are going to plan, that nature of the business should be mentioned here clearly. Now fourth point is duration of partnership, means for what time you are going to do your partnership business. For example, if you take a contract to make a flyover and approximately it will take 6 months to 1 year to build. That means after the 6 months or 1 year, whatever the time duration to make a flyover, after that particular period your partnership automatically dissolve. That means partnership is over. Now fifth point is date of commencement of partnership business. That means on which date you are going to start your business, that should be mentioned here. Sixth is amount of capital to be contributed by each partner and nature of capital account. That means first of all, I think I should clear the term capital. Capital means the amount invested by a person into the business, that will be termed as capital. Now question is that how much capital invest by a partner, that should be decided in advance, that which partner have to bring how much amount in the business as a capital. And second is nature of capital account, means while you are preparing the accounts of that partner, what kind of capital account you are going to prepare here. That means you are preparing the fluctuating capital account or whether fixed capital account. So that all mentioned here. Next is ratio in which profit and losses are to be shared. Definitely we are here to do a business, we have to earn the profit, but condition is that in which ratio we are distributing the profit among all the partner, whether it is a capital ratio, whether it is a equal ratio or any other particular ratio, that should be mentioned here in advance. Now eighth point is drawings. What is drawing? If any partner making withdrawal in form of cash or in form of goods from the firm, that will be termed as drawings. Now question is that whether firm is allowed to partner for making drawings or not. If yes, then how much extent he should draw from the firm in form of cash as well as in form of goods. Point number 9, interest on partner capital and drawings. Interest on partner capital means Capital is invested by the partner, okay, but partner is expecting return. So, what rate of interest provided by the firm to the partners on partner capital? That should be clearly mentioned here. Likewise, in case of drawing, firm is withdrawal goods or cash from the firm. Now, firm also expecting something in return in form of interest on drawing. So, whether firm charge interest on drawings or not, if yes, then by what rate, it should be mentioned here. Now, interest on loan. Interest on loan studied under two perspectives. One, firm is taking loan from the partner. If firm is taking loan from the partner, definitely he have to pay the rate of interest. Firm have to pay rate of interest by the 6% per annum if it is clearly not mentioned in partnership deed. On the vice versa, if partner allowing loan to the partner, then definitely firm have to mention the interest loan which is charged by the partner. Now, salary and commission. In case any partner taking active participation for the business day-to-day activities, what salary, what commission should allowed to that person, whether allowed or not. If allowed, then what amount. 12th, treatment of goodwill. In case of admission or retirement of a partner, first of all, what is goodwill? Goodwill means reputation value in terms of monetary. Now, question, what is the amount of goodwill? So, goodwill amount will be calculated by average method, super profit method, or by the capitalization method. In case of inheritance goodwill, means the goodwill which is earned by the firm's popularity, we have to make computation for it. But if it is a purchase goodwill, there is no need to make any computation because we have the figure, because we have paid the amount for the goodwill. Now, we get the amount of goodwill whether it is a purchased or inheritance goodwill. Now, the question is this, ki how we will treat the amount of goodwill in our books in case of admission or retirement, whether we have to show that amount of goodwill bring by the admitted partner or we are paying to the retiring partner, how we will show into our books of accounts. Now, mode of settlement of account in case of retirement or death of a partner. In case any partner going to retire from a business or any partner died due to any reason, how we are settling their account, how we compute their dues and how we settle it, by paying in lump sum amount or by paying in installment, that should be clearly mentioned in this point. 14 is mode of settlement of account in case of dissolution of firm. First of all, what is dissolution? Dissolution means winding up of a firm, means closing down a firm due to any reason, whether it is a mandatory reasons under the law, whether it is non-mandatory reason, means by own wish of the partner they are going to close their business, they are going to dissolution of firm. But question is that how they settle the accounts? By preparing the realization account, by making the capital accounts to make payment of capital to the partners, and by making the bank account to settle the bank accounts in detail. So, these all are the criteria which we have to follow in case of dissolution of firm. Now, settlement of dispute, whether arbitrator will be appointed or not. In case any dispute arises among the partners, so how they will be resolved, whether we have to appoint arbitrator or not. If yes, who will be the arbitrator? Next is bank accounts. Definitely we are doing a business, we are doing the business transactions in cash as well as in banking form. So we have to open the bank account with the banks. Now, question is that we are opening the bank account with the name of firm or with the name of partners, and who will be the signatory authority on checks and on dealing of bank account, that should be mentioned here. 17 is use of decision of Garner versus Murray. Basically, this is the rule which is used in case of insolvency of a partner. Insolvency means when a partner is unable to pay his debt, and in this case insolvent partner insolvency of capital borne or bear by the solvent partner in their capital ratio. So, that rule is used in our firm or not, that should be clearly mentioned here. Last is auditing. Auditing means to check the arithmetical accuracy of books of accounts or verification of asset and liabilities. Question here is that whether we have to do auditing for our books of accounts or not. If yes, then definitely who will be the auditor, how we will appoint it, what is the mode of appointment of auditor. So, these all are the partnership deed content which should be pre-decided in advance to avoid misunderstanding, to avoid disputes in near future by the partner. Now, what are the rules applicable in the absence of partnership deed? That means if we are not going to prepare our partnership deed, as it is not mandatory, it is up to our wish we are going to prepare partnership deed or not, as I earlier told to you. But question is that if we are not preparing the partnership deed and dispute arises, what will be the solutions? So, here they are. First, profit sharing ratio should be equal. We are not mentioning in which ratio we are deciding to share the profit among the partner. In absence of that, we are always share our profit in equal ratio among all the partners. Interest on loan will be given at the rate of 6% per annum to the partner. That means, if a partner providing a loan to the firm, definitely he expecting the return, and that return in form of interest on loan provided by the firm at the rate 6% per annum in absence of any partnership deed. Next is, no interest is allowed to partners on the capital invested by them. Again the same thing, if it is not mentioned in partnership deed, then there is no interest on capital allowed to the partner. Likewise, no interest on drawing charged by the partner in absence of any information or anything mentioned about this factor in partnership deed. And no partner is getting salary and commission for their extra participation or day-to-day participation. Next is admission of a new partner. That means, if we want to admit a new partner in our business without the consent of existing partner, it is not possible. Means, first of all, we have to take the permission, or you can say the agreement by the existing partner on the admission of a new partner. If they are allowing or they are saying yes, then we are able to take a partner as a new admission of a new partner. Each partner can participate in the conduct of business. That means, any partner can take part in any activities of the business at any time. Last is, each partner can inspect the book of firm and can take a copy of the same. That means, if any partner willing to inspect the books, he can do at any time. Even he is able to take a copy of the same for the future references or for their references too. So, this is all about what is partnership, what are the essential requirement of partnership, what is partnership deed, what are the contents of partnership deed, and if we are not preparing the partnership deed, what rule are applicable to a partnership business. So, thank you so much. Hope you like all that.